Campers In team, it's been over a month since we put one of these videos together as an update. It's early November. There's been a lot going on, and I apologize for not doing this a little bit sooner. But as you've probably seen with some of the announcements, there's just been a lot of cool things going on around the company. So two things to talk about that we're excited to have announced is 2 new stores coming into the company's fold here November or very early December for the closing dates. The first one is in Richfield, Wisconsin, which is formerly Roscoff's RV. Any of you that know the Wisconsin area, it's basically northwest of Milwaukee. It's a great new facility, just a couple, 3 years old, right on the highway. Same exit as either a Cabela's or a Bass Pro. I'm forgetting which one it is right now. And we're excited to be welcoming those teammates on board. And in addition, we announced in Toms River, New Jersey, a new dealership that was formerly Scott's Motor Coach. And great dealer, also really new facility within the, I think the end of 2019 is when they moved in. So great brands, very good motorhome dealer. Excited that we have those 2 stores coming on board, and that will bring us to 30 stores in total. So it's really exciting to see what's going on there. So the main part of the conversation today is talking about growth and some of the growth we're seeing in the industry and some of the challenges it presents. So as we are growing, we're seeing some of our competitors grow as well. And one of the things that we're seeing is a somewhat unfavorable behavior from one of our competitors, and we've seen it in the past. So in the past, and a lot of you that have been around the industry a little while remember, is in Camping World, when they were growing to go public, there was a few behaviors that they showed. And one of them is they were buying a lot of stores, really driving that top line revenue, because that top line revenue is really important when you're about to do an initial public offering, an IPO. One of the other things that they started doing that we saw years ago before they went public was they were offering pay plans that were well above market to a lot of teammates. And what they were really trying to do there was they were shoring up their company so that it was strong enough to go public and kind of protect themselves a little bit. So they offered pay plans that weren't even in the market range anybody else was offering, well above. Then what happened was they went public, and I think a lot of us remember what happened there is we saw them downsize, which is another way of saying they just were cutting people and positions, and a lot of these people that were the newest people on the block were the first ones to be cut because they had offered them well above market and they didn't need them anymore. In addition to a lot of the teammates that they kept on board, huge cuts in pay, like really, really significant. So a lot of those people that were recent, people that joined Camping World attracted by the money were the first ones to go. And it caused a lot of human carnage. And we saw this at the time. Luckily for the last few years, we haven't seen a lot of that, and it's been more normalized. But we're starting to see the same behavior from one of our competitors. And that's why we wanted to talk about this. So RV retailers, and they have a lot of different brands that fall under the RV retailers. And some of their markets seems to be doing the same exact behaviors in a pre-public offering sort of thing. So we're seeing that the pay isn't just above market value with some of the pay that they're offering. It's unsustainable. We know from just operating the business for a long time what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. And some of the things that they're throwing out there doesn't make a lot of sense. And the sad part is that we know how this plays out. We've seen this whole thing before. It ends up correcting down the road after they go public, and they are being pressured by the market to drive earnings, and the top line revenue is not quite as important at that point. We've seen friends and former employees in the past. Let's be honest, when income changes, we adjust our lifestyle to that new income level. And if your employer drastically changes that can have a significant impact on your life and go through really tough times. And quite honestly, this behavior is the same thing we've seen in the past. It's not the first time, and we're seeing it happen with RVR. And we felt like it was important to let you know what our stance is as a company, what Campers In believes in this. So as a values-based and family-owned and operated company, we just have a different view on this. Our view is that we're going to continue to provide long-term favorable pay and benefits for our teammates. So we're going to pay in the market. We're not going to be that company that offers well outside of the market pay to try to grab someone and then throw them away later because we don't necessarily need them. That's just not us. We don't use people as a tool to accomplish our objectives, like going public or other things. We treat people with integrity, and we also look after the company's long-term sustainability, and that's why we're able to do what we do. We know that this market is super highly competitive on the employment side, and we know that you as our teammates have a choice, right? You have that choice where you want to work, and you don't have to work for us. You can choose to go work for somebody else. So our promise is that we're going to continue to provide a company that balances that success with that satisfaction. We're going to balance out the side of the company on the success side, the winning side, the doing well, the financial results, right? But we're going to balance that out with the satisfaction side, which is the positive culture, a good place to work, somewhere where you feel fulfilled at the end of the day. And we think that it's really important to balance out those two things. And we've talked about that a lot on the previous calls, how we do it through seeing if we're in alignment with value surveys, benefit surveys that we just got back. We're about to go through our open enrollment. We do look at our pay, make sure it's competitive in the market. We do make sure that we're in alignment. We're a good place to work from how we feel when we work. We're about to enter our heaviest training season of the year. We just had our first group this year go through Total Management 1. We're going to have more going through out in Sioux Falls. Hiring Winners is going on right now, and that's a training course for a lot of our managers. We're about to come up with our GM, service manager, and F&I manager meetings here in Jacksonville. We just hired a general manager trainer, Randy Goodwin, who's been with us a long time, and he's going to be a general manager training. So my point is we're going to continue to invest in our company and ensure that we're the preferred workplace for our team. We're going to continue to make sure that we're competitive in there. But we wanted to confront this issue head on and let you know what we're seeing out there and just give you a heads up that if this is your first year in the RV industry, maybe you haven't seen this before, but we have, and you can ask around with some of those people that have dealt with some of the bad behaviors and how they've mistreated people with some other competitors out there on their run up to go public and what we're seeing now. And it really is that same behavior. So that's the short and sweet message for November. I'm actually really excited to be able to see a lot of you at this upcoming training that we're holding. We have a lot of training coming up here really soon. We're preparing for it. So I'm really excited to see our team. Thanks as always for we finished off October really well. Reach out to me if there's any topics, as always, that you want to bring up on these calls. Happy to bring up whatever is necessary. And we'll finish up the year really strong. So appreciate it, everybody. Thank you.